Om Tab Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavi Bhiditam Kalma Shapaham Shravana Mangalam Shri Madatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Gunida Jana. Let us continue our discussion with Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses among his intimate devotees in the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh in North Kolkata, where he came from Dakshineshwar on his way to witness a drama, Dishaketu, in North Kolkata. And there was a discussion with his intimate householder devotees and young spiritual aspirants. Sri Ramakrishna was telling to one of his householder disciples, devotees, Atul Chandra Ghosh, the brother of Girish Chandra Ghosh, that while remaining in the world doing your work as a householder, continue your professional work and also think of God, perform your spiritual discipline. Tumra yo korbe, wo korbe. You do this and that also. Work and worship must go hand in hand. Now, there was a neighbor who was a Brahmin. Hearing this advice of Sri Ramakrishna to Atul Chandra Ghosh, who was not a Brahmin, he asked a question that can any non-Brahmin realize God, achieve perfection? Because in our country there is a peculiar caste system that only people belonging to a particular caste are privileged and they are entitled for spiritual disciplines and also God realization, whereas the others who are non-Brahmins, they have to wait till in a next birth they get a Brahminic body and then carry on their spiritual disciplines. In view of that, the question was asked to Sri Ramakrishna. It is interesting to know his answer. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says, first of all, how do you say that? क्यों, कैसे आप ऐसे पूछते हैं? The question was that this why this question is being asked? Because there are plenty of instances in our recent history and the books of devotion that those who are born in non-Brahmin sections of the society then ascended to the highest position as devotees. And they have been made gurus, followers, large followers of all sections of people. And Sri Ramakrishna gives here 3 examples where the non-Brahmins, they not only became perfected beings, but they became renowned throughout the ages. Even now, people respect them as exalted spiritual personalities. So one such was, Sri Ramakrishna said, that Shavari, mentioned in the Ramayana, whose short life was already discussed in our previous discussion. Shavari, he was born of some lower caste Bhil Ramani were the butchers, the hunters. They kill animals for their livelihood. In that family she was born by choice. Previously she was a Brahmin, the devoted person, but her higher caste stood in the way of getting holy company belonging to general categories. And she was very beautiful also, very handsome. So she prayed that she should be given a body of the Shavar family. Those were hunters and not at all having any beauty, so that she will not be disturbed and others will not be disturbed about her. Accordingly she was born, and then after a long life's effort she became so exalted that by the grace of his Guru, that Swami Bhagavan Ramchandra had to come, travel to her kutia even without any formal invitation. श्री रामकृष्ण सर्च ढूंढते हुए भगवान उनका कुटीर में पहुंच गए. So that shows that when the devotee is sincere, then devotee need not search God, God will search him out. He doesn't have to go anywhere. He sits wherever he is, but by the attraction of his devotion, God will come to him definitely, as was done in the case of Shabari. And God came, and then he blessed Shabari, and Shabari was beyond herself with joy. And then Shabari asked that what made him come here, because his gurus and many saints and seers previous to her, they sincerely called on God with all seriousness and penance. That it's mentioned that these people did tapasya, but then they were not successful. They died at the ripe old age of their life. But out of all, somebody is the person who was not a scholar or neither have any visible quality. Nevertheless, Ramachandra came. Then in his reply, Ramachandra said that there are 9 varieties of devotion, Navada Bhakti. Any one of them is sufficient, but somebody had almost all the variations of devotion. Only one type of devotion is enough, Parjapta hai. Here is a detailed discussion, we also discussed it here. Then Sri Ramakrishna gives another example, which is Bhakta Ravidas. Now Shabari is a personality of Ramayana. Ramayana series also is considered in our country. Ramayana is an epic, Purana, Bhakti Purana. Those who have, actually we can make that Ravidas, Bhakta Ravidas is another example. Sri Ramakrishna says that Ravidas was also not Brahmin, but he had an exalted spiritual dimension. So we'll take up some time to understand that why out of all persons Sri Ramakrishna referred the name of Ravidas. First of all, he was not that old. In Ramayana, he is an historic personality. So we may question whether it is fact or is just an imagination. So here, the reality of this existence of Vedas is, he was a saint coming from a cobbler community, Chamar. Now his life gives that lighthouse for all spiritual aspirants, Bhakta Ravidas. And this Ravidas, and then this colloquially she is known as Ravidas. So now, what is the speciality of this person? Why his name was suggested by Sri Ramakrishna, or it is he was referred by Sri Ramakrishna himself. That's the importance of his life, though he was not his contemporary. Now, there is a hazy information about his life and message. Fortunately, that Ravidas later became a guru. He had a lot of followers, and he traveled up and down the city, north, south, east, west, and made many disciples. So first of all, there is a doubt which country belongs to him, because he is most of the places in North India, his footsteps will be there. And by going through the footsteps and other articles, we find that yes, he was an extraordinary person. Now, regarding his speciality, it is learned that he belonged to the original guru of Ramananda Rai. He was a very famous spiritual head of the country, Ramananda Rai. He was in fact the guru of Kabirdas also, and also this Ravidas and many other persons, and is considered to be a realized soul. Now, in his life it is mentioned that this gentleman, he came to one Brahmin disciple, came to him for training. He is from Brahmin community, very nice and dynamic person. So, the parampara is that whatever order will be given by the Guru, you must follow it without reservation. That is the dictum. Then only your Guru Bhakti is complete. So, that whenever the situation comes, then he will be. So, all right. So the disciple was taking training, but his mind was a little extrovert. The Ramananda Rai is a Brahman disciple, extrovert, not that serious in his spiritual pursuits. So one day, one couple came to meet Ramananda Rai, and then the Ramananda Rai was very pleased, and then they wanted to feed or to be treated. Ramananda Rai wanted to treat this, and then made a bhandara. Went away now. So here, Ramananda Rai told this Brahmin disciple to go and beg food from door to door, as is the tradition, madhukari, thoda thoda sab leke, ye bhandara ko bandobast karo. This person went, but then it was raining heavily. Everything dark. How can you fulfill? Doesn't know. Then fortunately, one couple came. They didn't have any children. So they wanted to meet Ramananda Rai. He is not available. He is busy elsewhere doing sadhana bhajan. So then they said, all right, we'll arrange. And they went out and they saw a very young and this energetic, the disciple of Ramananda Rai. Immediately the gentleman offered him, that Ramananda Rai's disciple, when he saw this person, Then they said, I will want to feed the monks, etc. Then what you do that you go to the grocery shop and whatever is required, your belongings for your food materials, that all provisions you kindly collect, I will make the payment. So it's very easy to collect all these, because he was wondering that in this rainy season, how can he procure so many things before the noon and then cook and serve. So he thought there is that will of God, being his sincere difficulties. Now he was very much relieved. So he went up to his heart's content. He took all the materials as desired and then prepared the food. Now this word came to pass to Ramananda Rai, and he became furious. He said, I told you to collect this, material from different shops. Like he was kind of surprised that how this person arranged. He inquired Ramananda Rai. Then he learned that this person didn't go door to door. He just got the entire thing from one shed and supplied the materials. So Ramananda Rai was very furious. He said, this is your double fault. One is the Guru Vakku Ullanghan. Another is from householders. You have taken this person unwillfully. It was not necessary. Anyway, when you have such inclination of enjoyment life, you go back and be born in the family of a chamar, those who make shoes, because your behavior, conduct is not befitting to become a Brahmin. So this Brahminism not a hereditary activity. It is the choice of the Atman depending on the karma. Then only you can cover. So here when Ramananda said, so then they said all right. So anyway, this Brahmin disciple of Ramananda was born as a child in the family of cobblers. And that is called no other than this, or the Brahmin disciple of Ramananda Rai. Same person. As a punishment, he had to take a birth as a cobbler family. But this time, this person became extremely alert. He knows that he is not he doesn't belong to this community, but he has been posted there as a punishment, and as soon as possible he should complete this project and go back. This is the background. Now, so Ramananda Rai had this disciple of this time this person became this Chama's family. There are many rumors are heard about this divine child. Like it is said that this person was extraordinary. The various rumors. But anyway, this person was extraordinary, and from the childhood he was in the pursuit of God and God alone. But though his parents belonged to the hunted family, then they wanted to motivate him that not to become so much spiritually inclined, but they are not to, because they do the work, etc. So Ramananda was keeping a close watch. Then when this, after some time, when this person was to be initiated, then there is a controversy. whether Ramananda was his guru or Sant, that some other person was his guru. Right? He was a contemporary of Kabir Das. So that Ramananda Rai, Kabir Das and our Ravi Das, they are contemporaries. And his life is very obscure because usually the people are reluctant to the life and history of these exalted these characters. So that is one reservation. Secondly, the lack of knowledge, lack of investigation. We always do not have that. The Ramananda Rai is the disciple, because those disciples didn't have children. So Ramananda Rai gave a curse and became the son. Now, this time, the Vedas became extremely alert. And from the childhood, he was only God-oriented. But his parents were not inclined to that life. So they became very much alert. So they wanted to cajole him, but nothing happened. Then they got him separated at a very early age. Said, go away from home, you do your own. And but nevertheless, he went away in the backside of their family. And then he got them married at a very tender age, so that he may not become a monk. So that a very young girl was married to him, Lona Devi, and then after some time he had a son also, that Vijay Das. They were staying there. But Ramananda, Ravi Das, his father's name was some say Raghu, and mothers were Karma Devi. Now this person was maintaining his life with only following the father's trade. This is important. He did not give up his trade of making shoes. He remained an honest person. It's a very exalted life. He remained an honest person. He would not kill any animal. Whatever animals die, he would purchase those dried skins and make shoes and shoe repair. And minimum charge will take, and as soon as the amount is enough, he'll close the shop. And the immensely connected with the spiritual pursuits. But by dint of his spiritual sadhana, earnest prayers, he became an exalted person very soon. His supernatural powers became evident, and people from far and near thronged to him for initiation. All the while, he was very humble. Now, then by the time there was in Chittor, Mirabai was there, and then the Mirabai's father-in-law was a very renowned Nana in Rajputana, and he had a open battle with the Delhi Babar, in which he died. And this son-in-law, who was Mirabai's husband, he also died. And his brother-in-law, he was also not available. So Mirabai was ill-treated. So Mirabai left Chittor and eventually came in touch of Ravi Das and took the initiation from Ravi Das. Now this made a turn in the whole table, and then people started becoming very alarmed that how the devotees of higher caste, Brahmin, Kshatriyas, influential people, they are coming to Ravi Das for spiritual guidance. This is just not acceptable by the society. Because this point is very important. Even now, after such a long lapse, this same question was asked, whether non-Brahmins can become spiritual masters. So it is said that a lot of this evidences have been put in different literature on this topic. Now, so the Brahmins of Kashi, because we are living near Kashi, is also Brahmins Kashi, they went in procession to the king of Banaras. In those days there was small kingdom. And then asked that how this person becoming a chamar, he is initiating Brahmin people. He has no right and he is sacrilegious, he is bringing great dishonor to our spiritual life of the country. He should be stopped. So then the Kashi Naresh, he called him and he asked, he said that I have no claim, I do not call anybody. Whoever comes for spiritual guidance, I just simply tell them about God. That's all my job is. Then regarding his competence, they didn't know. Then the Brahmins gave a test. They wanted to make a chinoti. They brought an image of God and they said that let Ravidas worship this deity and let us see whether he is a stone or he is a living personality. Because he proclaims that God is not a stone, God is a living personality. You can talk to God, you can live with him, let him demonstrate. So that murti, that dhatu murti of God was kept in the Sabha, and every community was asked to do puja by turn. So everybody did puja in their own way and nothing happened, that murti remained as it is. Then they requested Ravidas, you also do your puja and let us see whether the murti is a stone or is a representation of a living personality. That was the major dispute, that Ravidas was telling, though God is present everywhere, but if you are earnest, then the God will be appearing, the pragat ho jayenge. Bhagavan ki itna shakti samata hai. But till then, this has to be accepted. So they worshipped and when nothing happened. But when turn or Ravidas came, he didn't want it, but they was forced to it. When the turn or Ravidas came, they saw to their surprise that the image was deity, that he was not there. They kept someone to worship, and that the deity has become that alive, जीता जागता एक मूर्ति बनकर रविदास को गोद में आकर बैठ गया. So they were all surprised that, and Bhagavan ने प्रमाण कर दिया that God exists. By the devotion, God comes on the surface and liberates the devotees to the ultimate abode. So Ravidas' demonstration was not only once, there are many instances. So the summary of his demonstrations are this, that God is present, God was present with him, God is everywhere, and by sincere devotion and prayer, then God can be realized by one and all without any prerequisite. You do not need any hereditary qualification to realize God. That was the life and message of Ravidas. Even otherwise, another time, the Pandits of Kashi came to him. He said that we are all worshipping Shaligram Shila. You know, the Narayana is worshipped as Shaligram Shila by Brahmins alone. Then they said that you are a devotee, we heard. Then where is your Shaligram Sila? How are you worship him? He said, I do not have any Shaligram Sila. These instruments, that जूता बनाने के लिए जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है वही थैली में लाके आया, दैट इज अवर शालग्राम शिला. ये कभी होता है क्या? योर carpentry items you are talking about, how is it possible? We do not know this is. So they said no. If you must be having a Shaligram Shila, if that is alive, then we will accept your supremacy. Or else you must go from here. And the Shaligram Shila will drop in the Ganges. Now, if it is alive, it will swim across and come back. But if it is just a stone, it will be drowned. We want to explain, verify. So, he didn't want this test. He said, God should not be tested this way. But these people went on insisting. So then Kashinara said, all right, you bring all your Shaligram Shilas. Let me see. They all brought. And as soon as they were thrown in the Ganges, everybody got drowned. पत्थर पानी में देने से क्या होता है? वो डूब जाएगा. He got drowned. Then they shook their heads. Though they are proclaiming that our Shila is alive and all that. Then the turn came to that Ravidas. And the Ravidas said, my instruments of Juta factory, that is my Shaligram Shila. What is Karma Yoga? That is my Shaligram Shila. The interaction with the devotee, with God, that makes this difference. So then they said, all right, when you are saying that carpenter hand instruments are your God, you throw one of them. So they forced it and then forced Ravidas to give a test. He said, this is my Shaligram, and it was thrown in the Ganges. To the surprise they saw, it is not drowned. It is floating and coming back to this shore with great speed, as if it is a living being. So now everybody all around got convinced that this is not the way to test God, and Ravidas is indeed a man of devotion, a man of devotee, that his supremacy has to be accepted. There are many other anecdotes giving a great inspiration for our devotion, which we'll take up in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavatam parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Today there will be a special program of Christmas Eve, this night, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. You are all welcome. We close now the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om.